What if the pain you feel, the anger, the resentment, the frustration, the sorrow isn't caused by the world, but by what you believe about the world? What if the root of your suffering isn't what happened to you, but the story you tell yourself about it? Most of us don't question our thoughts. We trust them, we obey them, we live by them. I've been betrayed. They should love me more. This shouldn't be happening. And with those thoughts come the emotions, the tightness in the chest, the inner storm, the war with reality. But Byron Katie, a woman who spiraled into depression and then awakened into clarity, offers something radical. What if none of it is true? In Loving What Is, she teaches us the work a simple, powerful process of questioning your thoughts until they lose their grip. Not by force, not by pretending, but by realizing the truth through your own inner inquiry. Let's walk through the practice, the revelations, and the freedom that comes from meeting reality without resistance. Chapter 1. The beginning of the end of suffering. Byron Katie didn't set out to become a teacher. She hit bottom. Overweight, broke, addicted to rage and despair, she was barely functioning. She spent days unable to get out of bed. She hated herself, her family, her life. Then one morning, something cracked open. She describes it simply: she woke up, and the eye that had believed all those stressful thoughts wasn't there anymore. She saw clearly for the first time that when she believed her thoughts, she suffered. And when she didn't, she didn't. It was that simple, that devastating, that liberating. From this came the work, a process that would change thousands of lives. Because when you stop fighting reality, reality stops fighting you. Chapter 2. The 4 questions. The heart of the work is a practice, a way of interrogating the thoughts that cause suffering. You begin with a single stressful thought, something you absolutely believe. They don't respect me. He shouldn't have left. She doesn't listen. My life should be different. Then you ask 4 questions. Is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? How do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? Who would you be without that thought? These questions are not a mental game. They're a doorway to radical inner freedom. Because often, when you really sit with them, you begin to see. The thought isn't true. And even if it is, clinging to it is killing you. Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Chapter 3. The turnaround. After the 4 questions comes the turnaround. You take the original thought and flip it to its opposite, or to a version that puts the responsibility on yourself. For example, he doesn't appreciate me becomes, he does appreciate me. I don't appreciate him. I don't appreciate myself. You're not trying to force a new belief. You're asking, in what ways is this also true? Can I find real, concrete examples? This is not positive thinking. It's clear seeing. You're not trading one illusion for another, you're dissolving illusion altogether. And in that honesty, something amazing happens. The war inside you begins to end. Chapter 4. Reality is always kinder than the story. Katie says this again and again: reality is always kinder than the story you're telling about it. We think we're at war with other people, but we're really at war with our own beliefs. We think the pain comes from what someone said or did, but the pain lies in our resistance to what is. When we drop that resistance even for a moment, we return to sanity. We return to peace. Imagine the thought: she betrayed me. Now ask, is it true? Can I absolutely know it's true? And then, who would I be without that thought? Not naive, not numb, just clear. A bold to respond not from pain, but from peace. This is not about condoning harm. It's about freeing yourself from its echo. Chapter 5. Personal stories become universal doors. Throughout the book, Katie works with people in real time. Their stories are raw. A woman grieving her daughter's death. A man consumed by jealousy. A mother angry at her son. A daughter haunted by abuse. Each begins with a belief that feels unshakable. And yet, as they move through the questions, something shifts. You can feel it. Their faces soften. Their voices slow. Their pain begins to dissolve, not because their past changed, but because their relationship to their thoughts did. That's the miracle of the work. It doesn't fix your life. It frees you to live it. Chapter 6. The mind is innocent. Katie doesn't demonize the mind. She sees it like a child confused, scared, doing its best with old programming. The thoughts that hurt you aren't evil. They're just mistaken. And when you question them with compassion, not violence, they lose their power. This is why the work isn't harsh. It's loving. You're not attacking the ego. You're gently waking it up. And that shift from war to witnessing is everything. Chapter 7. Loving what is doesn't mean liking it. Here's a crucial point. Loving what is doesn't mean liking what is. It doesn't mean you stay in abusive situations. It doesn't mean you don't take action. It means you stop arguing with the past. You stop resisting the truth of what already is. Because every time you say this shouldn't be happening, you're fighting a ghost. Reality doesn't care if you agree with it. But when you stop resisting it, you regain your power. From that space, you can respond clearly, effectively, lovingly. You act not from pain, but from peace. Chapter 8. Freedom is just one thought away. The truth is, we don't need to change the world to feel free. We just need to question what we believe about it. Katie says, all the advice you've ever given someone else, it was for you. Everything you think they need to do, you do it. Because peace doesn't come from them changing. It comes from you waking up. And you can begin right now with just one thought, one belief, one painful story. Hold it up. Question it. Turn it around. And feel yourself come home to reality. So much of our suffering comes from one place, believing our thoughts without ever checking if they're true. But you don't have to live that way anymore. You can learn to question the voice in your head. You can find peace in the middle of chaos. You can love what is not because it's perfect, but because it's real. That's the invitation Byron Katie gives us. That's the practice. And if you're ready to keep walking that path to go deeper, to heal smarter, to live clearer, subscribe to real deep understanding, here we don't run from life. We meet it. Fully, lovingly, honestly. Like this video if it helped you slow down. Comment, what is one thought you're ready to question today? Share this with someone still trapped in a painful story. And remember, the truth doesn't hurt. Only what you believe about it does. Let go. Ask the question and love what is.